Hello everyone, I'm Carthu and welcome back to the dojo. So today is the day. It's the grand premiere of Dragon Ball Super BROLY and thus spoilers abound. As you can see, I am on the Reddit page for Dragon Ball Super BROLY and it clearly has the world premiere spoilers. Expect regular updates. We have gotten a few, which is why I waited to do this video. I have not jumped on the bandwagon and doing it, like 4 hours ago like some people have. I just really wanted to wait and make sure we have information, and that's good because there's actually a big piece of information that was a misconception that's been spread around a lot. So I'm gonna tell you right now, this will be spoilers. If you do not want spoilers, cool, click off the video now. I have not clicked anything onto the screen yet, as you can see, and this will be sort of an OBS like screen record type video where I just talk over it and read and give my thoughts. Now, when I click that see spoiler button, I don't want to hear anything, okay? Nothing from you guys. And the reason this is so zoomed in is because actually there are updates to this right below in the top comment, the top reply. So I didn't want those updates to be seen, and then those are pseudo spoilers, even though they're not that bad. They're still pseudo spoilers. I don't want to bother anybody with that. So I will probably keep it zoomed in for the video's sake, so it's easier for you guys to read on this video. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how it comes out in editing. But without further ado, it's your last chance to click off from spoilers. You've had enough warning. Alright, I'll give you a countdown too, just to be safe. 3, 2, 1. Click to see spoilers. Alright, this is going to be a live reading for me. The movie starts by going back 41 years to the past, where Planet Vegeta is suddenly swarmed by dozens of Planet Trade Federation, PTF for short, ships. King Vegeta is made aware of their arrival, and a mass of Saiyans, most likely upper class, go to greet King Cold, who had just exited his ship. At this point in time, the Saiyans had already been affiliated with the Planet Trade Federation and have been working under King Cold for a while, but the purpose of this visit was to announce that the old king was going to retire and give command to his young son Frieza, which actually makes a lot of sense. We've been wondering why King Cold didn't seem like he was in charge and Frieza was claiming he was the emperor. Well, that's because King Cold retired. Look at that. This marks the birth of the Frieza era of the PTF, and he gives the Saiyans 500 Scouters as gifts. While demonstrating the Scouters' functions, Frieza notices that there were 3 Saiyan snipers surrounding him from within the castle walls, and he dispatches each of them before they can even react with a death beam each. That's brutal. Frieza then says he's got high expectations of the Saiyans and leaves the planet. Afterwards, King Vegeta visits an underground chamber in which a small number of soon-to-be Elite Saiyan children were being nurtured inside their incubators. King Vegeta claims that his son is showing remarkable growth and that he's got the potential of a genius, which is pretty true. A few meters away, BROLY is also found inside one of these incubators, and the Saiyan personnel informs the king that the child shows abnormal power. One of their scouters even breaks while attempting to measure BROLY's power level due to his fluctuating power. Shocked and in denial, King Vegeta decides to send BROLY away, fearing that he might one day not only challenge his son for the throne, but also become a danger to the universe itself. Therefore, BROLY is soon extracted and placed inside a pod. Coordinates: Planet Vampa, an isolated planet devoid of human life. This doesn't go without catching the ear of Paragus, and so he seeks an audience with the king in hopes of changing his mind. Struggle which turns out to be in vain. It's not really a sentence. Angry and betrayed, Paragus vows to have revenge and leaves on the spaceship with that Saiyan we see with him in the trailer, who happens to tag along. This is Beats, and goes after BROLY. Their landing is rough, but they make it in one piece and soon go in search of BROLY. The planet is full of those spider crab creatures, and as the 2 Saiyans do their best to avoid them, they eventually find Kid BROLY inside a nest, having devoured quite a few of them. Again, brutal. After Paragus makes contact with his son, he realizes the child had turned into an Ozaru in order to ravage them. Apparently there's a moon near Planet Vampa. This is when Paragus scans BROLY's power level as a kid and is revealed to be 920. Which is weird, because I think we had spoilers earlier on that said his birth power level was 10,000. And I'm not sure if we still have those, but maybe they were referring to his Ozaru form would only be, yeah, his Ozaru form would be about 10,000, so maybe that's what they mean? It's kind of hard to tell. Interestingly enough, I said he didn't have a tail, and we quickly found out that he did, in not only one trailer, but also that we also found out that he had a tail as a baby in the pod, but also in that design. I thought that tail got removed because we don't really see it, but it's in the design still, that from August, that I, completely missed. It just went right over my head, and I apologized in that video for that mistake, and I apologize once again for that mistake. It's a little bit, neglectful of me to not have researched the character sheets as thoroughly as I could have. I do have about 4 sources for them. They just all seem to miss this one for some reason. But other than that, on this Planet Vampa stuff, it's pretty interesting to see that Ozaru Broly is like absolute monster ravaging these beasts that Paragus and Beats, 2 full-grown Saiyan warriors, are afraid of. Interesting. It makes you wonder how weak are the Saiyans, right? Are they mid-class? Or is Paragus like Raditz tier, Nappa tier? And then how strong are these vampire spider things? Who knows? After that, Paragus attempts to leave the planet, but it's revealed that their tough landing severely damaged the ship, making it useless. In order to save food, Paragus kills the other Saiyans so that only him and Broly remain, and activates a distress call. Whoa! So we all thought Broly would kill Beats, but it's actually Paragus who kills Beats in order to save Broly and himself. That is insane. That's ridiculous. Just let the spiders breed a bit before you kill them. Like, start a farm. Jeez, you don't have to kill Beats. Oh my goodness. I thought it was an accidental death. No, this is like... This movie so far is brutal, by the way. This is sounding to be a really brutal movie. It's going back to, like, real Saiyan roots, actually. But anyway, 5 years after Frieza's first visit to Planet Vegeta, the scene changes to Bardock returning from battle. This is almost like... So far, this is almost exactly like what I said the order of the movie would be in my last video. It's almost like I am a great prognosticator. Someone give me a medal. I literally did this in this order. This is amazing. 5 years after Frieza's visits to Planet Vegeta, the scene changes to Bardock returning from battle. He's having a discussion with his fellow Saiyan pilot, and is very suspicious of Frieza's order of all Saiyans returning to their home planet. Bardock theorizes that Frieza might want to kill them, so he visits Gine and decides to send Kakarot away to Earth, where he'd be safe just in case. While reluctant, Gine agrees to that, and we have a nice Superman moment in which Bardock holds a crying Gine close to him, while their son departs the planet in a Saiyan pod. I forgot to mention that Bardock asks Gine about Raditz, and she says that he's been placed in the same team with Vegeta. Now, notice they don't say that they'll tell Raditz about what happened to Goku, which was good, because that's a big issue in Minus, where Raditz actually knows why Goku was sent away, and he really shouldn't. So this is good. On his ship, word about Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God legends have reached Frieza's ears. You couldn't... See, this is an issue right here. Because he never mentions Super Saiyan God in Namek, he never mentions it any earlier in the series, Vegeta never knows about it, so how have Super Saiyan God legends gotten around when the Super Saiyan God legend is in the Namekian Book of Legends and has only reached Beerus through prophetic dreams, unless we also have a prophetic Saiyan who is, able to see visions of Yamoshi in his sleep. It makes no sense to me that he would know know about the Super Saiyan God, or that anyone else besides Beerus and the Namekian Elder would know about the Super Saiyan God. This is something they should have changed and didn't. That's a really bad decision. And it's really minor, sort of, but it's really bad at the same time. So he decides to eradicate the Saiyans together with Planet Vegeta in order to make sure that there's no possibility of those legends coming true. Alright, it makes sense, but it just doesn't make sense for him to know about Super Saiyan God, because this takes place in the past, so we have to make things around what he knows in the future. As Frieza launches his supernova at the planet... Actually, good point, actually. So, Frieza knows about the Super Saiyan God, but sees Goku with blue hair and doesn't think, wow, you seem different. Are you a Super Saiyan God? I've heard about that. He doesn't say that in Resurrection F, does he? Either version. He doesn't know what a Super Saiyan God thing is, right? He's like, you're a Super Saiyan god who's turned Super Saiyan on top of it. I don't get it. And then it's like, I'm sorry to go on about that, but I just thought about that and it makes no sense. As Frieza launches his supernova at the planet, Bardock is the only Saiyan that launches a huge ki blast at it in an attempt to try and do something. Obviously this fails, and he's engulfed by the huge fireball as it makes its way to the planet and completely annihilates it. Vegeta was on another planet. Oh, quick note, I wonder if they'll change Bardock's outfit for that to be consistent with the manga. It'd be really nice if we saw the shoulder padless Bardock show up in that scene to make it consistent with the original manga. Basically say his armor changed in the month that he had between Frieza ordering all the Saiyans back and Frieza destroying the planet. Where were we? Vegeta was on another planet together with Raditz, Nappa, and 2 other Saiyans. Nappa and the 2 other Saiyans are shocked to hear that a meteor has destroyed planet Vegeta, and they inform the prince. Raditz says that they were lucky, while Nappa says that Vegeta supposedly had a brother as well, nice Tarble reference, and wonders what happened to him, which Vegeta responds by saying he doesn't care. Nappa then asks Raditz about Kakarot, to which he replies that he was a weakling, so it doesn't really matter, but he does mention that he had received a message from Guinea earlier, in which he mentioned that she sent Kakarot to Earth. Okay, so he does know that he went to Earth, but he doesn't know why. He wasn't, like, told exactly why Goku was sent to Earth. Okay, which is better. That is better. And if, you know, they're part of this trade federation and stuff, I mean, what Raditz said in the beginning of the Saiyan Saga is 99% wrong, because Toriyama just didn't know where the story was going at that point. And he completely changed his mind about the Saiyans, and Vegeta even being a prince came along later, and Frieza's involvement came along later, and these were just details he had not ironed out yet by the time the Saiyan Saga started. So Raditz's big speech at the beginning of the Saiyan Saga is just something that is so wrong in retrospect, that it actually makes you wonder, you know, what did he actually know? Like, did he know nothing? Moving on, time to jump to the present day. Okay, so now we're back to the present. Scrolly. Goku and Vegeta, Buu Saga outfit. See, that's where it is. I said to people that the Buu Saga outfit would be in the beginning of this movie, because that makes sense. Yes! I don't like him fighting in the Buu Saga outfit. His armor makes sense for fighting. He was only in his Buu Saga outfit for the tournament, because it's a tournament, you can't wear armor on Earth, and he went straight from that tournament to fight Majin Buu. That's why. Are sparring on a deserted island, while with Bola, Whis, and Beerus are enjoying some food not too far away. After their sparring session is over, Whis asks Goku why he seeks further strength, we saw this in the trailer, to which he replies that the Tournament of Power opened his eyes to all the possible strong beings out there. We get a picture montage of the Tournament of Power contestants, including everybody's favorite Ribrianne, Kefla, and the Pride Troopers. Now, listen, this says Kefla. I heard from someone else Caulifla and Kale are also present. I want to see my bae Caulifla in Shintani style. If my wife, Caulifla, is not in Shintani style in this movie, I riot. Worst movie ever. That's it. But we move on. Whis then asks Vegeta what's his reason for seeking further heights is, to which he replies, Frieza's in imminent danger. That's actually like a decent motive, and it's not just to catch up to Kakarot. Which is actually nice, I kinda like that. Vegeta realized that Frieza made some huge gains back in Resurrection of F, and now that he's alive again, there's a possibility of him becoming even stronger and attacking them again. That is extremely rational thinking, Vegeta. Congratulations. Goku then naively tells Vegeta that he shouldn't be worried, since Frieza helped them win the Tournament of Power, and then they get into a funny argument in which Vegeta tells Goku that he's way too stupid to grasp reality. Congratulations, Vegeta, you are being extremely rational right now. I actually really like this. Bulma then receives a call from Trunks, who informs her that someone has stolen the 6 Dragon Balls she has collected, as well as her Dragon Radar. Who could have done something like that? The answer is obvious: Frieza. Frieza snuck 2 of his father into Earth in order to steal them, and they were already headed towards the final Dragon Ball, which is located in the Arctic continent, as they call it, because, well, Dragon Ball does take place on Earth, but it's not our Earth. Since Beerus says that he's not interested and will stay behind, Bulma tasks him with babysitting Bola until they're back. 10 out of 10 writing. Make Beerus a babysitter. I wanted to see him fight, but you know what? I'm so into the gag of him babysitting Bola that I'm down with this. Meanwhile, somewhere in space, we get introduced to Chire and Lemo. So, real quick, Chire and Lemo, a scene I said would happen before the dinner scene, seems to happen after. I thought they would do it as like a cut-in thing. They didn't, but like I said, most things in that prediction could happen in slightly different orders. Who were tasked with finding strong people to join the Frieza army, because the Frieza army, as we were told before the tournament power, was decimated. But they had a good amount, but it just seems like they were extremely low level. They happened to pass by planet Vampa and decide to land there after the distress signal Paragus had set off 41 years ago, 41 years prior to his caught by their ship. Very old and frail Paragus crawls out of his cave after he sees them and rushes to their side. The two scan his power level, and the old man is worth 4,200, which still amazes Chire and Lemo. Before they can finish talking, a giant crab spider attacks them, but before it can do anything to them, Paragus calls for BROLY, who rushes in instantly and one-shots the creature. Impressed by him, they try to scan BROLY's power level, but their scouters can't process his power level. Shocked, they decide to take them back to Frieza HQ. Okay. So, Paragus, there you go. 4,200, so Nappa level. Near Nappa level. Nappa's anywhere from 4,000 to 7,000, depending on who you talk to. Some people like to, wank him up, but I think the Daizenshu has him at 4,000, so we should go with that, but people try to say, oh, but Piccolo should have done much better than it. It's like, those lower power levels, the differences and stuff is hard to gauge. What is low, right, in terms of the Frieza army? Once there, Paragus and BROLY meet Frieza. While Paragus is very polite and careful, BROLY doesn't seem to give a crap, and acts in a way reminiscent to Tarzan. Frieza informs Paragus that King Vegeta's son, Prince Vegeta, is still alive and well on Earth, which prompts Paragus to agree to share their strength for the sake of revenge. Next up, there's a shower scene with BROLY, and he gets his new gear as well. Chire invites the freshly showered BROLY to their table in order to socialize, but a drunken Frieza fodder looking for trouble hits Lemo, which prompts a very annoyed BROLY to kick his butt. Fearing that BROLY is getting a little carried away, he pulls out his remote control and subdues BROLY by activating his collar, which sends high voltage currents through his body in order to get him to forcibly calm down out of his rage tantrums. Disgusted by this performance, Chire berates Paragus and manages to steal the remote from his pouch without him noticing. A Frieza fodder calls for Paragus next, as Frieza seems to want to talk with him between four eyes. I don't know what that means. BROLY then goes with Chire and Lemo somewhere quiet, and they begin to bond. BROLY explains that the green fur he's wearing comes from his very first friend. Planet Vampa displays two kinds of creatures, spider crabs and some gigantic green fur, long-necked, dog-like creatures that live within the craters found on the surface of the planet. As a kid, BROLY trained by continuously dodging the attacks from one of these green-furred creatures, and by repeatedly doing so, they became friends. One day, though, Paragus attacked this creature, severing one of its ears. After that incident, the creature stopped interacting with BROLY, and a saddened little bee decided to wear the fur of that severed ear around him so that they'd always be together. That is really sad. Can we talk about that? Is really sad. I actually really am saddened by that. What the heck, Paragus? Jeez. Paragus is a terrible dad. Can we talk about this? Paragus is awful. Apparently we're supposed to feel sympathetic for Paragus' terrible story, but Paragus is an a-hole. Holy crap. After hearing this story, Lemo says that BROLY is a really pure being, to which Chire adds that she thinks BROLY doesn't really want to fight, but instead is being used as a tool by his pathetic father in order to exact some vengeful agenda. They say BROLY should ditch him, but the big guy says that he won't disobey his father. Okay. Meanwhile on Earth, Bulma departed towards the Arctic continent together with Goku, Vegeta, and Whis. This I didn't expect. I didn't expect Whis to be going there right away, and I didn't expect Goku and Vegeta to be going there with Bulma. I thought Bulma would call them afterwards. So it is interesting to see them all headed there together. They ask why Bulma has been trying to collect the Dragon Balls, and she reveals her wish is to become 5 years younger. This is a joke This joke is a direct contrast to Frieza's wish, also a gag, which is revealed to be him wanting to grow 5 centimeters taller. In the meantime, the two Frieza spies have managed to find the last Dragon Ball, and they call for Frieza's arrival on Earth. As old enemies meet once again, Frieza introduces Paragus and Broly to Goku and Vegeta as another group of surviving Saiyans. Neither Vegeta nor Goku care about that, and they hasten Frieza to return the Dragon Balls at once. Seeing Vegeta, Broly gets progressively impatient, and Paragus then sicks his son on the Saiyan Prince, which makes sense. Vegeta vs. Broly begins! Hey look, Vegeta vs. Broly is the first fight. Who called it? It was me. Initially base Vegeta, and obviously we all knew he would fight first, but I'm saying the whole fight is, I think we're about to find out, the whole fight is about to take place through, Vegeta's whole fight is about to take place before Goku even throws a punch, and we'll read that right now. Base Vegeta has the edge over base Broly, but the latter soon catches up, making Vegeta claim that Broly seems to learn and get stronger as he fights. Vegeta then turns Super Saiyan, thing that shocks Paragus and then pressures his enemy before he manages to catch up again. It is then that Vegeta reveals Super Saiyan God and turns the tables around by completely dominating base Broly, so much that it sends him flying through several mountains with a single punch. Jeez! Paragus falls to his knees, thinking that this is the limit of his son's power, but something was gradually awakening inside of Broly. As the Saiyan Prince is about to finish off Broly, the latter gets angrier and angrier, and his power explodes, and he awakens the imperfect rage form, the yellow-eyed form, as we call it. This allows Broly to once again pressure Super Saiyan God Vegeta and catch up to him. While not 100% sure of this, it seems that Paragus mentions how this rage form, yellow eyes with huge muscles, there it is Broly using the Ozaru's power while in human form, and that it is very hard to control. Look at that! I think someone said that to me. I think someone commented that. Whoever you are, if you commented that, remind me in this video. Because congratulations. I want to congratulate you. I did not believe that. Very interesting. Very good for you. That means it's a 10 times multiplier. There you go. We have a multiplier for that rage form. Broly then swells up completely and achieves his completely rage form. Goku then steps in and says that it's his turn to fight Broly. Goku versus Broly begins. Now remember, Goku versus Broly begins after Broly is powered up enough to defeat a Super Saiyan God Vegeta. Remember how I've been telling you guys for so long that Goku is way stronger than Vegeta after the Tournament of Power? Here's our proof. As Broly becomes increasingly angrier and his screams are getting louder and more frequent, I'm not kidding, Goku takes the old approach of going from form to form in order to gauge his opponent's strength. Goku starts in base, but is quickly overwhelmed, which prompts him to go Super Saiyan, but that doesn't change anything either. He then goes Super Saiyan God and manages to seemingly paralyze Broly's movements with an unnamed but apparently new technique. Someone told me that this could be a paralysis technique. I think, did I mention that in my video on the technique? I don't remember, but I definitely remember someone commenting about it being a paralysis technique. Congratulations to you. The new technique is a new technique, and it is a paralysis technique. As he's restricting Broly's movements, Goku goes on a monologue about how he thinks Broly isn't a bad person, so that does happen at the same time. But rather, he just lets himself being influenced by the wrong people and tries to get him to calm down. Goku's efforts is in vain, as Broly gets even angrier and breaks out of the paralysis by turning it back on Goku for a moment, and then proceeding to grab him by the leg, throwing him around like the Hulk did to Loki. Wow, that's not the first time we've seen that, a Broly ripoff, original Broly ripoff, do a Hulk Loki motion. Broly then starts to thrash Goku around the whole battlefield so bad that Goku kind of spaces out from the beating. Jeez! Brutal! This is a brutal movie, guys. This is brutal. I forgot to mention how, during all this commotion, Frieza instructs his goons to take the Dragon Balls and fly away from the battlefield. I forgot to mention how, during all of this commotion, Frieza instructs his goons to take the Dragon Balls and fly away from the battlefield. It is then that Piccolo appears by telepathically contacting Goku. He's on top of some hill on the other side of Earth, and telling him not to give up and keep fighting. Goku tells Piccolo that he's in trouble, to which Piccolo agrees, saying that he unfortunately can't come join them as he'd be of no use. Goku then comes back to his senses and goes Super Saiyan Blue. Hey, there we go. And I think that does mean that in the dirt, when Goku's in the snow, like I said in my video, that's when, when he's gripping his hand in the snow, that's when he's just barely conscious and he's going to turn Super Saiyan Blue. It then turns into a back and forth battle until Rage Broly launches a giant green ki blast attack seen in the trailer and thrashed the whole battlefield, turning the landscape into a dynamic kind of scenery. Yep. So I said in my last video that that attack could have been either the attack that did that or somewhere later down the line. It seems to be the attack that did that. So I did predict it, but I did give it a 50-50 of when it could happen. And when I did put in the video, I did put it in the wrong 50-50 than the right one, but I did explain that could be the other one. Goku managed to avoid any serious damage and then continues to fight Rage Broly, holding his own. Seeing how Broly seems to have reached his limit, Frieza questions Paragus if that is truly the limit of his son's power. Frieza remembers how killing Krillin back on Namek made Goku turn Super Saiyan, so he decides to murder Paragus by launching a death beam straight through his chest. The lizard then shouts in order to get Broly's attention and tells him that his father has been killed as a casualty of their battle. The sight of his father's corpse makes Broly lose his mind, and then he turns Super Saiyan in what I believe is one of the most awesome transformation sequence we've ever seen. Wow, that is some big praise right there, we'll have to see. After completing his transformation in a rage, Broly drowns the battlefield in a rain of ki blasts, like I said. And I guess that transformation is the one I'm talking about where he rises out of the ground like that. Where I said that in the video. And again, this is all in the same order that I made my thing in, my last video in. If you want to see the order of this movie that played out like this, watch my last video. It's every scene from the trailers in order like this. It's crazy. Super Saiyan Broly completely overwhelms both Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta together. Wait, did I miss it? After completing this transformation, an enraged Broly drowns the battlefield ki blast, which I said in my last video, and as Goku is starting to get overwhelmed, Vegeta decides to join the fight as well and help him. About time. Super Saiyan Broly completely overwhelms both Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta together, even no-selling their combined Kamehameha Gallic Gun combo with a ki blast of his own. No selling? I don't know what that means. Seeing as how things are looking bad, Goku grabs Vegeta and instant transmissions him to where Piccolo is, and as the two are now gone, Broly sets his sights on Frieza and proceeds to attack him. Okay, so that's why Frieza gets attacked. Interesting. I think that order is a little different than I said, too. On the other side of Earth, Goku says that this Broly is way too strong for them, and the only alternative they have is fusing. Since there are no Potara around, Goku tries to persuade Vegeta into doing the fusion dance. This moment here is a mostly funny scene, as Vegeta knows that what the dance is about, and refuses to do such embarrassing moves, like he said in the Buu arc, actually, saying that he'd rather let Broly end everything instead. Goku then teases Vegeta by saying that Bulma will die because of him, to which Vegeta reacts with a little blush that finally gets him to agree. Aw, that's cute. Kawaii desu ne. The two Saiyans practice the dance, failing it the first two times, which result in Veku and an anorexic Veku. A very important thing to note is the fact that it's explicitly stated how they had to wait 30 minutes in between each of their fusion attempts, time in which Broly had been continuously brutalizing Frieza for over an hour. So Broly has been brutalizing Frieza longer than the whole Tournament of Power. Jeez! Seriously, Frieza even goes golden, but Super Saiyan Broly just keeps, let's turn that into a more respectful word, destroying him over and over, even worse than God of Destruction Toppo did during the Tournament of Power, and that was in a shorter time frame, like less than a minute. On their third attempt, Goku and Vegeta finally get the fusion dance right, and then they decide the new name, since Vegeta is reserved for their Potara fusion counterpart, and thus get the scene in which Gogeta names himself. Base Gogeta then instant transmissions to the battlefield and saves Frieza from Broly by knocking him away. Super Saiyan Broly then sets his sight on Whis and tries to attack him, but ends up punching the air as Whis nimbly dances around him, laughing for like 5 seconds. That is amazing. Whis just doesn't give a crap. Gogeta then takes on Super Saiyan Broly and manages to keep up with him just in his base form for a little while. So we do get base Gogeta. Gogeta then goes up to Super Saiyan. As they clash, their power is so great that they end up transporting themselves into another dimension, which looks kind of like a mirror room filled with tons of differently colored layers. As the two fight each other, they shatter literally several plane, literally several of these planes, and Broly is soon forced to enter Super Saiyan full power state, the legendary Super Saiyan state, the green-haired state, which prompts Gogeta to go Super Saiyan Blue as well. They continue thrashing dimensions by breaking them until they finally return back to Earth, literally dimensions being broken by their fists. Okay. Their Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta continues to fight Broly by dominating him for the remainder of the fight, despite Broly continuing to power up. Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta responds with even more power that overwhelms the Savage Saiyan. Which means Gogeta is holding back, by the way, during this fight, to try not to kill him, it seems like. That's potentially the dominant Goku personality, making sure that happens. Elsewhere, Chirei and Lemmo decide on using the Dragon Balls to save Broly because they know he's just being used. They summon Shenron, who seems to only grant one wish now, yikes, and prepare to make a wish. Meanwhile, Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta charges one massive Kamehameha in order to put an end to a losing Broly, and just as the beam was about to connect, Chirei wishes Broly be transported back to planet Vampa, saving his life in the process. As soon as the wish is granted, Chirei and Lemmo hijack one of Frieza's smaller ships and decide to go after Broly. A sly Frieza goon, I guess, notices this and was about to shoot down the ship when Gogeta stops him. Annoyed by the fact that his plans failed yet again, Frieza decides to leave, but not before warning Gogeta that he'll be back. The scene then switches to a babysitting Beerus, who is relieved that everything turned out well. If Beerus is relieved everything turned out well, I don't think Beerus could have handled Broly, to be honest. And I think there is a line that's missing here that I've been told about, where Goku directly says that Broly was stronger than Beerus. But maybe that's later. Sometime later, Frieza is seen on his main ship during the middle of his planetary assault. Looks like a Star Wars scene with many Frieza ships shooting lasers at a nearby planet. He says that while he might have failed this time around, this ordeal has brought forth an interesting development which might come in handy in the future. On planet Vampa, we see a bandaged, battered up Broly sharing some of his food with Chirei and Lemmo, who finally arrive. They both almost threw up because of because of how disgusting the food is. That's when Goku shows up by instant transmissioning all of a sudden. He comes to visit Broly and to bring some gifts as well. He sets up a Capsule Corp house courtesy of Bulma, brings some food and gives Broly 2 Senso beans. While Chirei is very suspicious and hostile towards Goku, the latter mentions how he just wants Goku to visit Broly once in a while so they can fight some more. Goku then goes on to say that Broly is an incredible fighter and that he might even be stronger than Beerus. Oh, there's the line. The movie ends with Broly warming up to Goku with a smile as our heroes instant transmissions back to Earth. Credits then roll and Blizzard starts playing. Okay. I noticed too there's a line that's missing here where Goku apparently for the first time ever calls himself Kakarot in this movie. And that's not here, and I think that's actually fairly important to his character, despite everything else. Yeah. Okay, so note, everything below with a green check mark has been directly verified by the aforementioned trustworthy native Japanese speaker who was present. Clarifications are nested in bullets. Okay. Gogeta is in the movie, same design as movie 12. Blue is confirmed. Wait, same design as movie 12. Oh, I think they mean it's Shintani's version of the jacket and pants, right? I think that's what they mean. Still wanting to hear about other forms. There are conflicting reports on the forums. Never mind. I've seen enough now to be confident that the summary that's base, Super Saiyan Blue, Rip, Red Boy. Only Super Saiyan and Blue. Okay. No Ultra Instinct, with a check. Okay, everything with the check has been verified. Bardock does have his final showdown with Frieza. No, he shoots his laser blast to Frieza's death ball just gets killed one-sidedly without even seeing each other. But Frieza has to see him. Oh, no, whatever. Umakoshi confirmed. Hugely positive reactions overall. Yeah. Several Japanese people are saying on Twitter that it's the best movie they have ever seen in theater. Jeez. Gohan is not in the movie, that has a check. The movie begins with flashback scenes, check. In the first scene, Frieza arrives on planet Vegeta, check. Vegeta and Goku and Vegeta, yeah. Okay, so I think all this stuff is not that important, to be honest. P.S. If you want power scaling details, you have to watch the stream, particularly the end, because I was typing this up. Okay, whatever. we'll talk about power scaling in a different video. Keep going. Edit, I am leaving everything originally posted. We'll iron it all out eventually. Okay, edit 2, Ken apologizes for the Kula thing. This is Ken Zyro we're talking about. Unfortunately, I hate to be the one to say this is not the first time we've had an issue from Ken Zyro's translations or Ken Zyro's information. I do like Ken Zyro. He's a very good person. He's a very nice person, and he has actually an ear issue right now, and I very much hope that gets sorted. I know he's in a lot of pain because of it, and I really do wish him the best. But unfortunately, this is not the first time this has happened, so we do have to, in the future, make sure we get multiple sources. I'm not saying, always discredit Ken Zyro. That's definitely not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is anybody can be wrong, so make sure you have multiple sources before you go out making videos on things, because they were talking about Frieza's height and showed different forms of the Frieza race. These forms looked like cooler. Frieza wanted to be taller. Kinkono, jeez, I haven't spoken Japanese in a bit, said that the second and third form are already taller and cooler, to which Frieza replied by saying he wants his final form to be taller, which means there's no cooler. No cooler mentioned or anything, no MUI, nothing. There's a lot of contradictory information out there. For the purposes of OP, I'm filtering, cross-referencing and stuff, and that's what I just told you guys to do on your own as well. We have multiple people in this community who get multiple pieces of information from pretty much everywhere, and we need to use all of that together. So, Kula is not in the movie. This is the movie summary, guys. So, utterly brutal, really emotional in some regards, in some pieces. I think the Kakarot scene will need some, like, dissecting and explanation, and, overall just understanding from the community and from us to, like, break down and explain why it's important. It is really important that Goku accepts his heritage that he's always been striking down. So, I think this actually seems like a really good summary. I'm not disappointed by this. I think the past stuff could have been done better, and there's some inconsistencies along the way. But if we can sort of push past those, it's not a bad movie by any regards, and it does seem actually really interesting to me. But I've been talking way long enough, and I think you guys deserve a little break. I do want to have a conversation, though. Leave an opinion, counterpoint in the comments down below. Hit that subscribe button if you want to be notified every single time I upload. And check out the Patreon if you really want to support me. I am in the process of fixing that up so you guys get better stuff from me. But for now, guys, video, outro.